So to kind of switch it up a little bit today, I'm going to share with you just a story from my life where I experienced God space, where God opened up a moment and I feel like God space truly happened. Now this is unfortunately the exception to the rule that is my life. There's been many more opportunities where I probably ignored it or just didn't want to go that route. And I tell you that just to be honest and open with you guys, that we have to make a conscious effort to see God's space, see these openings, these opportunities that God opens for us, and to actually take advantage of them. And even me, I'm susceptible to not wanting to do that. The awkwardness overcomes me, and I don't want to do it either. So the story, this was back when I was in college, and so one of our friends was getting married over the summer. So we all, three of us, drove over from Bolivar to Washington, Missouri, where the wedding was going to be. And after the wedding, it was in the afternoon, we were like, hey, we got some time to kill. There's this really neat, kind of like touristy town near here, right off the river. And so like, let's go there. And so we did. It was kind of historical, kind of really neat stuff for, weird, nerdy people like me. But so we went and we had a good time. And we were going to do this twilight tour of this old hotel that, kind of haunted kind of stuff or whatever. And so we're like, yeah, like that sounds like fun. So we're going to do that. But we had some time to kill and we were hungry. It was about time to eat dinner. However, this was a really small town and they didn't really have any restaurants. And so the only thing that we could find that was open was a sports bar in town. And so we're like, hey, they got food just like everywhere else does. Let's go in. Let's have some to eat. So we sit down, order some hamburgers. We're sitting there waiting for our food to come out. And this woman comes up to the three of us and she is clearly intoxicated. And so she comes up and my first thought is, lady, I really don't want to have to deal with this right now. Like, I just want to eat my hamburger in peace. Please don't. And she comes up and literally, not kidding, the first thing she says to us is, are you guys gay? I have no idea why. We were like, no. Maybe it was because we were dressed nice from the wedding. I don't know. People in small town Missouri, I don't know. But anyway, we're like, no. And she's like, well, what are you guys doing here? And we're like, well, we're here for a friend's wedding. Oh, where you guys go to school? Yeah, we go to Southwest Baptist University. Oh, so you guys are ministry guys. You guys are ministers? And I was like, well, one of my friends, Michael, and I were sitting there, and we're like, well, both of us are. We're ministry majors. She goes, well, let me ask you a question. And, this is where you're like, oh, okay. Oh, boy, here comes the big stuff. She goes, if God is so good, why do bad things happen? And I was like, yep, there it is. The classic question. You get asked that all the time. And so we, did our best to give the cliche answer. But honestly, there is no good answer to that question, is there? And so we're like, well, God allows bad things to happen because we have choice. And if we have choice, we can choose either to do good or to do wrong. And when we do wrong, there are consequences to those actions. And so if God didn't allow bad things to happen, then he wouldn't be truly allowing us to have choice. He kind of explained it to her. But you could tell that she heard it all before. And all of a sudden, right there in the middle of the sports bar, this woman starts opening up about her life. And all of a sudden, she starts talking to us about how her ex-boyfriend had raped her daughter when he was living with them, and how she used to believe in God. She used to go to church all the time, every Sunday, all that stuff. And then she's like, but once that happened, I was like, no God could, if there was a God, he wouldn't allow something so horrible to happen to such an innocent little girl. And if there is a God and he did allow it, then I don't want anything to do with him. And we talked to her about it, but at the same time, again, what do you have to say for that? There is no answer, right? And so we just talked to her and we just listened to her story. We listened to her pain and to her struggles. For a good hour and a half, 2 hours. Our food was sitting there and it got cold and we never got to eat it. We ended up putting it in a box and eating it on the way home. We missed our twilight tour and everything. But it was one of the most amazing moments in my life where I felt like I was truly seeing God work. Because, like I said, at a certain point, there wasn't anything more we could say, and we really weren't even saying all that much. She just needed to just pour out her heart and just to express her pain and her struggles. And I have no idea what happened. We didn't have like a recommitment of faith that took place afterwards. It wasn't anything like that. We tried to get her email, and she didn't want to give it to us and everything. We was like, well, we're going to pray for you. She's like, I really don't want you to. And I was like, and we were both kind of like, well, we're going to do that. We're going to pray for you. You don't have to like it. And you don't have, I mean, we don't have to do it right here with you, but we will pray for you. And I have no idea what happened to her. I have no idea what happened to that woman. Never heard from her again. I've obviously never been to that town, so I never saw her again. But every now and then I think back on this story. And when I do, I pray for her. And I just hope that, someday she can find peace in that pain. Because more than anything else, she's hurting. And that's absolutely 100% reasonable. But see, that is what God's space is. It's not always having the right answers. And it doesn't always end with people converting to Christianity and giving up their heathen lifestyles and all of that stuff. No, sometimes it's just simply sitting and listening to somebody share their story. And I hope that if nothing else came from that moment, I hope that that woman said, those were some nice Christians. They didn't belittle me. They didn't judge me from, how I looked, from being in this bar, from drinking. They didn't judge my story. They didn't judge my life. They listened. And they cared. And like I said, at first I didn't care. I didn't want her to talk to me. But after she started talking, I cared a lot. And I still do. I really do. I really pray that things work out for her. But that, to me, is really the best and only example from my life where God's space truly existed and truly happened. And so that is what God's space is about. So tomorrow, we're going to start talking about how do we initiate God's space. And the first one is going to be noticing. And so again, your challenge is the same as it was yesterday, is just to notice. Look around and see what's going on. Look and see if you can maybe see pain or struggles or just situations that are going on in people's lives. Just notice the things that are around you. All right, I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.